Hi Aquarius, I hope you guys are doing great today. So these are going to be general messages for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for March 16th to the 22nd. Remember guys, with general messages, you want to just take what resonates, throw out the rest. Don't try to make it fit. And you do always want to check your rising sign, moon sign, and Venus, right? The energies can always be flip-flopped as well, right? So if I'm saying something about your partner, maybe you are resonating with it as something that you experience. So definitely apply the messages as you see fit, but I hope you guys are doing great today. I do need to shuffle my chakra tarot separately in two piles because they are quite large, but let's just discuss a few things that are going on in the sky while I shuffle these. So the first thing I want to mention is on March 16th, we have Mercury entering Pisces, and that's happening in your second house. So second house of money, honey. So it's a great time to communicate or move forward on anything that you felt was holding you back in this area during Mercury retrograde, right? So it's not only about money though, it's about stability and your hopes and things that you attach yourself to. So your thinking process is going to be more visual, very intuitive, very imaginative, and you're going to feel especially tuned into your emotions right now in a way that's going to positively impact your ability to effectively communicate in any second house matter, which is really, really good. And then on the 19th, we have the Sun entering Aries in your third house of communication. So this is the house of Gemini and Mercury. So anything having to do with communication and moving forward in a different way. Right, which is really great. It's about fresh ideas hitting you and you feeling very motivated to make changes. As in Aries, the Sun is really enthusiastic and spontaneous, making you feel super motivated and unusually impulsive to communicate and connect and move forward in a new way with a fresh perspective, which is great. And then on the 21st, we have what I think is the most profound influence of this month, which is Saturn entering Aquarius, because this is the first time this has been happening since 1994, guys. And it's happening in your first house of self, Aquarius. So that's a big house, and it has everything to do with you. So you may be changing the lens through which you view the world, changing up the way you meet life in general. This is a great energy to get a makeover, buy some new clothes, get a new hairdo, anything like that. Saturn in Aquarius looks to gather wisdom and information off the mainstream path and beyond what is normal for you, right? So he's going to be turning his attention outward and reordering structures and boundaries in order to help you make connections and become more innovative in how you approach things having to do with your first house, more innovative in how you view life, in how you, just your self-concept. Right? You're just going to be thinking differently about yourself and about the world around you in a really, really positive way. Because remember, while Saturn is the great taskmaster, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, which is all about shaking things up and let's do things differently, but in a really good way. I think this is so positive for everyone, and especially you guys having it in your first house itself. I mean, you know, really nice, really good stuff. So as always, I'm going to be doing a Celtic cross spread first, and I'm going to connect it to relationships, career, friendships, family connections, just general message there. And then I'll sweep that and I'll go into a love only read. Okay, guys? So let's see what we got. Princess of Wands, nice. That's the foundation. Let's move these guys over here. Ooh, the Emperor coming into this, the Emperor energy. Okay, so let's see if we can figure out what's happening here. So we have the Emperor energy is you coming into this time period. So the Emperor it's an Aries energy. Okay, you might have been dealing with an Aries. But this is the Emperor energy is about being a leader and in charge of your own life, feeling very impulsive about something, having a lot of energy and motivation to move forward in something. So feeling very excited and sort of like on the right path, having to do with a relationship or a job. Just feeling very in control, all right? Because again, you know, Aries is the baby of the zodiac. They are that first sign, but they are also the rulers of the zodiac, freshest eyes out of all of us. You know, great intentions, a little impulsivity. So you might have been feeling quite impulsive to move something forward. So that could have to do with a relationship, that could have to do with career, really, anything like that, a new friendship, some sort of family situation. for sure. Now, the current situation, we have the Princess of Wands, right? So Wands is all about motivation to move forward. There's a real fire in the belly to move something forward. This is a Scorpio and Sagittarius energy. And Scorpio being ruled by Pluto is all about transformation and moving forward in a way where there's, integrity, right? That's really speaking to your integrity. So I do like that. So while it's passionate, there's also a sense of doing the right thing in this, which I do like, right? But lots of fire in your belly, lots of passion and forward movement, having to do with a relationship, having to do with something to do with work, right? So there's a situation where there's a lot of desire for something, but then crossing it, we have the Hierophant energy, which is about the belief system, and it's in the reverse. So this tells me that you may be rethinking the way that you've been viewing your belief system up to this point, and really maybe picking it apart and changing it up. Figuring out, why do you think and feel the way you think and feel? Trying to trace it back to where those thoughts originated. Was it earlier in your life, in your childhood, from your first family kind of thing? Or are these beliefs just things that you picked up along the way, right? But it's this idea where you're transitioning your belief system, it does indicate here. And this transitioning of a belief system, or this crossing of a belief system, let's put it that way, right? If this has to do with a relationship, there could end up being conflict of a belief system, conflict in the way something is supposed to be or should be moving forward, where you believe one way and the person that you're with believes another way. But if it has to do with career, it could be you reevaluating what it is that you think of, what do you think success really means? What does it really mean to be happy? What does that even look like on paper, for you, right? For you. This is a very personal energy, right? But you're doing this thinking, you're feeling very passionate about something, but you're recognizing that there's something involved in this with this relationship or with this situation that you feel is sort of challenging your belief system. Now, we have the Knight of Wands as the crowning energy. So whenever we have a wand energy, again, we have this idea of passion, of forward movement. This is a Scorpio and Sagittarius energy, right? So Sagittarius is all about this forward movement, again, with integrity, and Scorpio is about doing something where there's a new cycle going on here, right? Again, because Scorpio is about death and rebirth, right? Because it's Pluto energy. So feeling very, very motivated to do something in this career or with this relationship, for sure. All right, so that is the crowning energy, is this deep passion and this motivation to move something forward. But then in the foundation, we have the Five of Cups, and it's in the reverse, and I prefer it in the reverse, right? Because in the reverse is recognition that something isn't perfect and that you've experienced disappointment and disillusionment, but you're also recognizing your value. And you're really tapping into the value that you bring to a situation, and you're holding that quite tight, right? Like the cups being emotions, 3 are spelt, right? So there's the disappointment and disillusionment, but there are 2, and in that 2 is your self-concept, is your identity, is your feeling of self-worth, and those two are still upright. Right, so I do, I like this energy as far way more in the reverse, because this is you tapping into your value. But I feel like you're being challenged here, and you're being made to feel like you're being made to remind yourself that you have value, is what I'm getting. Sorry for the delay. I just wanted to put my ideas together there. Yeah, because then now you're the Queen of Cups reversed. Okay, so this is a Gemini and Cancer energy, and this is reverse. So let's break down what that means, right? Gemini first of all is the Lover's energy, but Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which is about communication, and Cancer is ruled by the Moon, and that has to do with the metaphorical home, safety, family, all of that, right? That's our home space. So this, in the upright, it's about communicating that sense of home and feeling love and accepted and all of that. But in the reverse, I'm getting that there's a lack of communication and a feeling like something isn't home to you, and you don't want to feel this way. You don't want to feel this way. But this is what you're feeling right now. Either in this relationship, this friendship, this family connection, something to do with work, where you're just not feeling that sense of connection and there's unhealthy communication about it. And you may be the one that's not communicating, because whenever we have cups reverse, there is a holding back of emotions. And because it has to do with a Mercury vibe to it, that has to do with communication as well in the emotional space. So I feel like, you're holding back what you really feel. You're not totally disclosing what you feel inside, Aquarius, to either this person you're in a relationship with or to your boss or your colleagues, whoever it is. Now, external to you, we have the Five of Swords reverse energy. Now, the Five of Swords is not a bad energy in and of itself, because 5 is conflict and swords are truth. And so when you throw those two together, it's like a fight over like what's true, what's not. But we want to keep in mind that it's a Venus and Aquarius energy. So it's this conflict that we would be having towards how do we do this differently? How do we do this relationship differently? How do we do this job differently? How do we do this differently in a way that we can work towards where everybody's happy and there's healing here, right? But in the reverse, it's just telling me that this is not happening. I'm feeling like they're not, the swords, there's something going on with the communication here, Aquarius. There's something going on here with the communication, because I feel like it's like you're keeping to yourself, and I feel like somebody is inciting something in you, because it's like this conflict where there's no resolution, but you're not really responding. It's like you don't want the drama, so you're not even engaging on some level, but somebody's coming at you, asking you for answers regarding something, and you're just sort of like, no, not today. Like, I don't want to deal with this. This is what I'm getting right now. And listen, Aquarius, just calling it what it is. You guys are very good at taking a situation that's quite uncomfortable for you and opening up like that metaphorical internal cabinet inside yourself and putting that thing that's bothering you like in the back of a shelf and closing the cabinet and forgetting about it until like next year. I mean, really, out of all the signs, Aquarius is the most, what do I want to say? Savvy or skilled? I guess skilled at being able to pivot your attention when something is really like disturbing you. It's kind of like the opposite of Scorpio, right? Because Scorpio is where our obsessions lie. Aquarius, and it obviously depends on what else you have in your chart, guys. But I'm just talking about Aquarius. You guys do that. And it's actually a really amazing coping mechanism. It eventually comes out and all of that. I'm not saying that you guys, walk around life with your head in the sand or closing yourself off. I'm saying when there is something that's very kind of painful and uncomfortable for you, you need to work things out in your own pace, in your own time, and in your own way, right? Very important to Aquarius. You guys take what's normal and you guys do things a little out of the box. And if you're being pressured to do anything other in any other way, you're really going to retreat. So that really is a key to like working smoothly with an Aquarius is don't put, like the more you push, the more the Aquarius is going to close up, is really what ends up happening. And not because there's any malice involved or a lack of emotional intelligence. It's simply the way they're wired, And in your fear, we have the King of Wands. So you're very afraid that there's not going to be forward movement in this situation or with this person. So it's like you want something, but you're not communicating it because you don't feel ready to communicate something yet. And somebody is pushing you to communicate something, I feel like. And you're afraid that there's not going to be a forward movement because of the way things have been handled up to this point. And then ultimately here we have the King of Swords in reverse. So the King of Swords energy is a Capricorn and Aquarius energy. It's you, right? With Capricorn being ruled by Saturn. So this is about, putting in that hard work in a different way, right? In the upright. And this tells me that the hard work isn't going to be put in and it's not going to be happening any differently than it is right now. you know? So, and the final outcome here is the Strength reversed. You know, and this is a Leo energy, which is ruled by the sun. And the sun is all about, fresh ideas and a fresh perspective and, feeling really strong and all of that. And this is telling me that you're going to be feeling a little weak, and you're going to be feeling, like you're not going to be feeling the desire or even have the clarity to move something forward in a different way. So it's very interesting to me, Aquarius, because I almost feel like, a sense of stagnation here. It's like there's a challenge to the belief system. There's a lot of desire, but then this challenge to the belief system comes in, and I feel like, as disappointed as you are, you're really kind of digging yourself into your sense of self and climbing inside yourself and shutting yourself off a bit from a person. Even though I feel like they want to have more communication regarding this situation, you just don't want to deal with it. You just don't want to deal with it. That's what I'm getting. It's like, not today, not now kind of thing. Right? So, I mean, this could have to do with some sort of family situation going on. Certainly something happening with your friends. Absolutely. It could be a relationship kind of thing. Certainly a job. But I feel like you just... It's funny, but it's not like, you're literally, I'm getting like you're just literally not dealing with it right now. Like, when I'm ready. You're afraid that this thing is not going to progress forward, but you need to handle it in your own way, in your own process. Very important for you guys. That is the truth. Okay, let's go into relationship read for those of you in that space. This doesn't have to have anything to do with the Celtic cross, by the way. So maybe that was a friendship or family situation, and this is relationship, apply it however you see fit. So we're going to do 5 and 5, 5 across on the top, 5 across on the bottom, and we're going to be doing the Island Time Wellness as the clarifiers for the top. So we have the King of Swords energy again here, right? So again, Capricorn and Aquarius, but this time it's in the upright, right? So this was at one point this willingness to do something different in this relationship, really just come from a space of truth, of honesty, healthy communication. Really you were all about that, but then you moved into a space where you started to feel like your voice didn't matter quite as much. And you started to feel this sense of lack and connection. Like you weren't being valued. And, in the 8 of Swords energy, in the reverse, there was this, because this is Jupiter and Gemini energy, and you really in a space of trying to figure out, what do you need logistically, right? And in reality, what do you need in your life in order to bring yourself this luck and expansion in the relationship space? Like, what do you really need to do, right? Because remember, Jupiter rules Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is all about integrity, and Gemini is about communication, right? And this is in the reverse, though. So I feel, but this is better in the reverse, though, because I feel like you're in a space where you're starting to get in touch with here, Aquarius, exactly what it is that you need in relationship. Like the swords are coming out, right? It's the truth. It's the communication of what you really want and need in relationship, in this relationship, in order for it to be successful. So it's a slow energy, but you're realizing what it is that you really need. And then we have the 5 of Wands, and this is an interesting energy. 5 of Wands in reverse. So, well, the 5 is the conflict number, and Wands are well. This is like a battle of the well. But in the reverse, this tells me that the person that you're dealing with is going through something on their own, and you're sort of caught up in what it is that they're going through. It's almost like getting caught up in an argument that's not your argument to have. Like the issue is not you. So what I'm getting here is that you may be dealing like with your partner, the person that you're dealing with, maybe going through a lot of stuff, maybe at work, maybe with their friends, maybe with their ex-partner, maybe with some sort of situation in the family, and it ends up inciting arguments, certainly within your relationship, having to do with that, but like it's not because of your relationship, and you end up feeling like, why am I trapped in this drama when it is really not even my argument to have, but because of your connection you end up in it. All right, and that ends up making you feel like, I'm not really sure, I'm a little confused. Not that you don't want to be in it. I mean, Seven of Cups energy is a Venus and Scorpio, right? So this is about getting in touch with the heart space and really looking at how you feel in this connection, right? And having that connection to Scorpio, it's about recognizing that, some sort of cycle within this connection is over, but it's being rebirthed, right? And the fear, or not even the fear, the confusion lies in the fact that you know it's in Five of the Cups, but you don't know it's in Two, right? I mean, that's always the energy of this card. It's literally just not being sure what's going to be on the other side. So you may be feeling like, even, let's just say, Aquarius, maybe you guys didn't even have an official ending of a cycle in your relationship, but you definitely feel a new cycle in your relationship. You know what I mean? You could be married for 60 years. It's all about the ebb and flow, right? It's never on the same even keel trajectory. There are highs, there are lows, So I feel like that if you guys have definitely ended some sort of cycle, you're going into this next cycle, and you're really getting in touch with what it is that you want, need, and desire, like in the biggest way. But as this cycle is rolling out, as this next phase is rolling out for you guys, you're really not sure what to expect because you feel the change, Aquarius. You feel the change. And then we have the Five of Cups energy, right? Now, this time we have it in the upright, right? So this is about, recognizing some sort of pain, some sort of disappointment in a situation, absolutely. Recognizing that there is pain. And then we have the Six of Swords energy, which is about moving away from something toxic to something much healthier. Okay, and then we have the Queen of Cups in the reverse. So this tells me that there's a holding back here, right? This is whenever we have the Cups reversed, there's a holding back of emotion. Holding back of emotion. Right? So again, Gemini and Cancer energy, again, guys, right? I mean, this is what we got for you before with the other deck. That was a different deck and a different spread, but that was still representing you here. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles, which is about building, establishing a foundation and building something to move yourself forward. This is about having a fresh idea, fresh perspectives, having to do with money, having to do with communication, and you really knowing what's necessary, right, to move something forward, but you're in the space of self-protection for sure. There's absolutely this sense of self-protection. So Aquarius, I feel like, because the Six of Swords energy, I didn't mean to so nonchalantly say you're moving away from a toxic situation, but keeping it real, guys, this is a minor arcana. You could be moving away even just mentally in your mind and distancing yourself for a little bit, just distancing yourself from the situation a little bit. So you're feeling some sort of disappointment. I feel like you're sensing, I feel like you don't feel like you're on really like the same page with your partner right now. And it could certainly be because one of you is going through more than the other one, having to do with work, and it's the kind of situation where it affects the everyday. I mean, that happens for sure, right? Well, let's see what kind of crowning energy we get from Island Time Wellness. Cupid's arrow, have faith, love is coming, surprise information or meeting. Healthy choices, making healthy choices in love and in life, self-love, self-care, being happier. The runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, listening to ego. So, that could be you. It could be somebody who you're dealing with, But the fear of intimacy could really be, Aquarius, I mean, and again, the energies could always be flip-flop, but maybe I feel like one of you is going through a lot more than the other one. And I'm not getting that you don't want to be there for your partner, that they don't want to be there for you. But I feel like whoever's going through the heavier situation, they're making it really difficult for the other person. And it's becoming quite heavy. And it's inciting this need to like distance oneself for a bit, is what I'm getting here. But I'm not really that worried about it. But let's see. Is Aquarius going to work things out with this energy, yes or no? I'm not going to honor reversals. Nine of Pentacles, yeah. That's a yes card. Any more information that we could be given, please, regarding this connection? Definitely a weird cycle. Feeling a weird cycle. Okay, what popped out? Whoop, whoop. Eight of Wands. Queen of Swords. So your intuition is very turned up, Aquarius. That's for sure. Eight of Wands. Okay, you guys have been through a lot, but you still have fire in your belly for them. Yeah. We have Eight of Wands and we have Nine of Swords. You have yourself in this space, though, of self-imprisonment. Knight of Pentacles. I do like the Knight of Pentacles energy. It's a Leo and Virgo card. It's about communication, about what you guys really want and need to move forward, in a fresh way. These are fresh ideas. This is a fresh perspective about how to do this connection. So I do like that because I feel like there's going to end up being healing energy. Very nice. King of Wands. You're really getting back in touch with the passion. With the passion that you feel for one another. Not that you lost the passion, but I just feel like there were things going on in this relationship where it's like you just weren't tuned into it because there were too many other heavy things on tap that you had to pay attention to. Very nice. Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. So I feel like it ends well. It really does. And I feel like the healthy choices is you making this decision to just kind of step away from any negative energy for a minute. But I feel like you guys are going to find your way back to each other. Cupid's arrow, have faith, right? Just have faith. And I feel like this is all going to circle back around. Yeah. Yeah, so overall, not a bad message at all. And that is what I have for you, Aquarius. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.